maybe get a couple of decent charges. We can already see NIP, they poise for positioning onto the point, but they have to worry about destro on this high ground. That's a dismantle somehow, and they don't really have anyone who can get there except hymzi.
Yeah, Zuppehw's giving him a lot of damage on that Zenyatta, but he now himself is being taken low. Cyclowns going to give a lot of space here and try and use iuKeEe to draw someone out of NIP here, make them get aggressive, but Zuppehw and zappis already getting the picks in. Nicely done. zappis, obviously, you can see him going straight in towards the Hunter's Lodge. Davin's actually very much struggled to try and get a read on where the NIP players are. He comes in now, but it's a little bit too late in the piece. Forced to recall. Now it's to take cover.
Trying to stall for time a little bit with destro getting that pick. It actually might allow them to turn this point back around, but hymzi and kyynel both just going to be chiming in, trying to maybe maintain this high ground position where destro's trying to go for, and they've been finally able to force him out of that position. NIP, strong start, especially out of zappis, picking up 2 initial kills to open up that point.
Yeah, nicely done. Of course, a big shout out to our observer.
Puck's got stick there, and he was forced to use it. Or that was a little bit of a misclick, but hymzi over the top gets himself a double kill with the self-destruct.
Yeah, nicely done for hymzi and mafu as well. It looks like Cyclones are making a couple bloopers here, and CrusaDe now hoping to do something about it. Trying to get good position for a boot, but he's going to have to just skate on the wall for the time being and try and get back. zappis just checks him over the edge to make sure he can't come back. And hymzi finds iuKeEe as well. And NIP hardly even stopped here. It does seem like Cyclowns are in disarray. I don't know if it's the land conditions. I don't know if it's the opposition they're facing. But
man off. Davin, you're the one with an ultimate here on the defending side. You need to hit someone, and he's finally going to get on top of the payload.
Yeah, eventually. It might be a little bit too late. Zuppehw's going to come in with the transcendence, though, when iuKeEe's up on that payload. hymzi from up above, that's dirty. This self-destruct doesn't catch on towards anyone, but he's able to resuit up and rejoin the fight. Davin needs to work around the outside to get some picks here, but Krytox, iuKeEe, CrusaDe all drop very quickly now. A desperate attack visor out from mafu just to make sure they're cleared, and that's 4 minutes and 3 seconds in the time mate for NIP. They completely whitewash Eichenwalde, and for Cyclowns, you've got to be shell-shocked. The road holder hook snafu him up. Of course, 5 players up for NIP at the moment after losing mafu, and Zuppehw's also going to go down to Davin. So this is actually almost a bit of a staggered dive coming in from Cyclowns, and so far so good. hymzi tries to turn it back around, but CrusaDe gets his second kill of this fight, and Davin's now much more free to move and work.
And crucially, Pox, he actually went on towards the high position. He got chased down by Fragi, but you cannot ever underestimate what a Zenyatta can do for your team with Discord orbs and his damage alone. And by staying alive, he kept discording different targets.
Transcendence could be quite important in this next fight, especially when mafu goes tack visor. Destro has far better positioning here, but he's struggling to find a target. mafu goes low, and now we're going to see Fragi try and jump forward. It's going to be mafu's tack visor coming out now. He was lucky. I'm pretty sure he got naded or something to keep him alive there. But it's a messy fight. It's back and forth stuff. CrusaDe manages to finish off mafu, and it's just hymzi on the payload right now. zappis trying to run on in and keep this one going, but Davin goes big, and also CrusaDe continuing to get involved. Cyclowns able to stave off NIP's aggression.
Is huge because that means no trance, right? And you're able to push it. Destro doesn't have his graviton just yet, but it makes sure you can guarantee more and more kills. But maybe getting a little bit too cocky there. Pox does get hymzi though on the Zenyatta, getting that D-suit onto him. But they still don't have the finish off potential. They don't have the ability to close out this game just yet. They have a hell of a lot of ultimates, but that grav surge could lock this one down.
Oh, Fragi coming out of nowhere there. Pox almost was forced to transcendence to avoid being taken out of that fight. Still, his team benefits from the healing all the same. A graviton surge, that's 4 men, 5 men caught up in there from NIP. And destro comes in with 3. That's really going to hurt, and that might be what they're looking for to clean this up. He switches from the 76 Jason, goes to Zaya, and that's a shock and awe finish if I've ever seen one.
And the big thing about that finish too is the fact that they finished with time. If they had...
Very crucial. Destro now has to back away. I know people, we didn't see a lot of that fight. Mostly on Destro's point of view there, but now this is how it stands. NIP haven't lost anyone here. This is now dangerous for Cyclones, Jason.
Yeah, this is their final push here. They have Krytox, they have a blade ready to go. And Zuppehw has no responses. He does not have his Transcendence available. Krytox is finally able to pick up one, but can he turn it into more is the real question.
Well, he has to. There's no other choice here, but zappis comes in and shuts him down. And no, it looked like Davin kind of threw his pulse bomb at the point and hoping that would do something to keep it triggered, but they filled this game in a monthly melee. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That was nuts. Anyway, NIP going to come back in. They've got a Transcendence. Self-destruct comes in to start the fight. Now you put the enemy Reinhardt in a lose-lose situation, or the Winston, should I say. mafu cleans up Krytox. That's pretty big now. With the Transcendence coming out after the fact, that's just more win for NIP. Yet, kyynel gets picked off here by destro in the backline, and Davin is still at large. There's a pulse bomb available here. He's looking for a bigger target, but he's running towards Zuppehw. He gets taken down. It's a big hitbox in that Zenyatta. Tough to escape a Tracer, and Davin's looking for more, but his pulse bomb gets eaten by hymzi, and now he's going to have to back away. This might be it.
And Fragi actually goes for the Earth Shot directly on a destro, and that's going to do it. NIP's going to pick up the first map here on Eichenwalde and be up 1 map to 0, I guess, in total, since we're not...
Interesting from NIP, it's a Farah but no mercy. I like this. Okay, this is really interesting. So they're going to have this Zenyatta come in there. That was almost a pretty nasty concussion blast, but No one was claimed by that one here as well. So what's the response for Cyclowns now? Obviously not a heck of a lot to deal with this Pharaoh, with the exception of Krytox, of course, getting a Discord orb on that zappis and picking him up. But No Mercy is super interesting here that we've still got kyynel on that Lucio and Zuppehw on the Zenyatta.
And if you're Zappis in this situation, you have to play really careful because you have Krytox on the Soldier, which I know he's actually a fantastic soldier just from playing against him in ranked, but he has no way of getting any sort of burst healing. There's no Ana, there's no Mercy to actually give him large chunks of health extremely quickly. You're depending on this Orb of Discord to be on you and not necessarily in range of your Lucio's healing. So it's really difficult to play a fair in this situation, though he's been doing a fantastic job so far trying to play maybe on the high ground, using these buildings to his advantage to give him some sort of cover. I
mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Zuppehw play the Mercy here as well because he's getting pressured very hard by Davin. You saw him get picked off earlier on there. And with Zappis he's also picked mafu off in that earlier map. But Fragi now also knows he needs to stall this point out with that Primal Rage. When I was talking about burst earlier on, Davin has it. He picks off mafu pretty comfortably. Luki now going to come in with his Primal Rage and he just completely pastes up here across the wall. There's nothing the Zenyatta player can really do about that. And now self-destruct onto the point. That's to zone. But Cyclones can move back onto the point now and recap it back in their favor. Now it's getting dangerous for NIP. They're 92% and NIP are missing 3 players. They might not even be able to get back to the point before this is over.
And they stalled zappis just for a couple of seconds here. The tactical virus being used as well. All I have to do is just jump some man onto it. It's going to be Frag, who just barely makes it in the nick of time, but no one can be there to follow him up with. Davin takes him down. Now the overtime's taken away. Finally, they get kyynel and another man in there, but the kills are going all blue here. And NIP are looking to lose out on Lijang Tower on Garden.
Oh, it's a disaster. It's a catastrophe. It's the Cyclowns going to bring back the first round here. And I say that because NIP realistically got stalled out for a good 8.
Control. That teams need to figure a way around.
It takes some theory crafting, doesn't it? It even takes some theory crafting to explain the damn thing, but it is what it is. So Cyclone's going to come back in now as well. A very much a similar composition as we saw previously. NIP, much the same for them. Mafu made a late switch to Zaya at last map. He's staying on the 76 now. This first fight is so important. If that last map wasn't an indicator, I don't know what is. And you can see that for the most part, Cyclones are using this high ground. They're using this fast side of the map here. But Davin gets picked off early by kyynel. That means NIP. It's a huge advantage for them now to push forward. They've got the Reinhardt as well, but destro through the shield finds kyynel. It's a 5 for 5, but at least Mafu can try and back in on this 76. Now forced into a duel around the corner. Oh, okay. Hits the Helix rocket. I think both players do, but destro kills himself with it. NIP win the first.
He knows he has a time frame here. He knows he has a time frame because he has to go before these support ultimates are available. And he knows Zuppehw used his just prior, and kyynel has no chance of having his available. He gets himself an easy double kill. They did pop a Transcendence out of Pox. Actually, the sound barrier is Crusade, so I'm curious why they invested double support ultimates when Krytox got that kill, and there was no ult speed used against him. So it must have been Zappis maybe focusing on Pox, maybe him and mafu together, which forced a trance out of him just because he wants to stay safe.
It's fine. I mean, look at this. It's the last fight now. And NIP don't have a lot of ultimates to bring into this fight. Yeah, it's the tactical visor from mafu, but this must make all the difference now. It's not going to be enough. It's going to be too late. Mafu doesn't even get to the point. He picks up CrusaDe, but he was...
Well, reunited and eUnited the same kind of way since we cast them back in the Battlefield days. But I don't know, I would like to see some like triple DPS comps out of NIP. I feel like they have the tank meta down so well, but when it comes to just raw aim, like raw talent in that kind of aspect of picking up kills and maybe outsmarting someone in a one-on-one situation, maybe they're lacking a little bit more. Because the teamwork is definitely there, but the individual like brilliance, I don't think we've necessarily seen from any individual player.
Yeah, I don't even know if that was really a calling card of NIP in the first place, but the round starts off and Krytox tries to get a little bit cute to deal with mafu, but he picks him up pretty confidently. So this would be the second round consecutively that NIP win the first fight and get that first capture. And they do that. So now it's a matter of holding on to that. Maybe they don't
have that one person who can pick off someone because Zappis is struggling so much with Pox to give them that way into the point.
I'm just not saying the pick up. I'm not saying Zappis take this game by storm. Here comes the grab surge. No, destro going to pull many of them in there. Davin only gets 1 kill with that pulse bomb. Sound barrier even used for Cyclones. Why not get rid of all the ultimates now this fight comes in? hymzi gets that 1 kill with the self-destruct, but it's going to be a struggle for NIP to stay back in this. CrusaDe finds Zuppehw. Most of the damage done by Davin. Now hymzi going to get taken out of his suit or into overtime. CrusaDe with a boop on hymzi to get that finish off. The flip comes back, and now Cyclones can get there, 99%, and one more big fight to come, Jason. Not many ultimates.
Not any really for NIP, but we're going to have Krytox with the man to watch potential in this one at 93%. If he can get his blade up and going with kyynel already going down, Davin securing that major kill, eliminates the one support. Mafu is finally able to respond, but he's got Krytox on his face to actually back away from this one. Gets taken out by the Dragon Blade, and just like that with 3 quick kills coming in for Cyclowns, I think they've done it. I think they've been able to take here on Lijang Tower and tie things up at 1 apiece.
Right, Zuppehw's not even interested in trying to walk on towards the point. He knew he was done at that point. Overtime ticks down, and yes, Cyclones claim the second map of this series. A clean 3-0 on Lijang Tower.
He's going to get onto the point. You can see immediately everyone's backed away from Cyclowns because they want to let them take the point where they're in this central location and then attack on their own terms instead of letting an NIP attack against them.
Kyynel's picked up Krytox really early in this fight though, so Cyclowns may have just handed this one over, hand over fist to NIP at this stage. You can see the Fragi put to sleep. No, they're not really even on the point here. They've allowed this to get 2/3 capture progress. This could be a breakdown in communication as well from Cyclowns. I mean, losing a player early on, I think CrusaDe it was now, and they appear to be in slight disarray here.
You got to be careful. You obviously you want to stall here, but if you stall a little bit too long and you invest too many people at the very tail end, they can run against you and just snowball this. And look at the ultimates they have. Zuppehw, Transcendence almost ready to go.
I think even Eichenwalde gave us a couple of doubts here, but Krytox is just trying to get some medium range damage done for the next Dragon Blade, but zappis comes up unbeknownst to him and gets that
self-destruct position right here. If he throws it directly in between, he just landed perfectly, it's going to be huge, but no, he drops it a little bit too short. He missed positions. He does get Luka in the end nonetheless, but that could have been way more.
A slap around the ears for Fragi. Destro tries to come in with a tactical visor, but he's shut down immediately here. Krytox instead is the benefactor of the nano boost here, but a Transcendence is immediately forced out. Nicely done, NIP. This time was a good use of it for Zuppehw. They managed to shut down Krytox comfortably. The fight must continue though. Davin pushed himself back on towards the point. He's forced to recall to at least try and keep this one going. Destro, but it's traps.
Look at it. He just had to the way through. Mafu return. That
one nicely done from Mafu to finish the off. Davin gets picked. And he's coming for him. This is like right now, the boss and they're losing more.
The point is finally captured. I'm not sure here and somehow down to
even want to actually does give it to zappis here so I need to he's going hard at the moment and I've been very little they're into the stores on towards point dealt here no time take here not bad. You have to do dresses around.
Somebody is trying to be a little bit good and great.
Not echoing like when going over. This is being used. There was a lot of is right in terms of and back towards the point. He's only half far. Well, that's not ideal. Somehow good. On towards now, he's trying to run back at this point. And over here, and I have one. The aggressor here as well. This, Frag jumping towards him. Like, I can just back away. Frag right, he's trying to keep the on the payload. He to wait to the last now. Coming Transcendent in struck over the top. Luki drops down. Krytox back towards the point. Also secures the kill. Payload and then I think he has to
I'm just enough. You're the payload
for this help. He really Yes, one player on the be up pile. In this entire map.
This means a little bit longer to get the
Dragon Blade to a transcendence in the way, and now of course again. Everything in these do damage in the way. Wait your butt still the map finishes also being enough
the pressure see the tracer fake over and over again, but I mean hey, died from that point.
Didn't have a zappis at all, but I mean he should have refunded in that case.
He still has it.
Let's not issue. But it's a part of the here now. Cyclowns on a
being completely shut this down and they're losing a position.
Luke as well going to have to be dealing with that through from on the payload. Make it frustrating. You can see Matthew a little bit of a left-right shake of the mouse. He's frustration. And Krytox just sticks the blade. He's going to make the sunshine from no matter what.
All right, try to use his visor. Now him. He's so bad for he's so far. He's rocked up.
Goes up there. Rocket. Well, he's going to hold with and says, look at that. Hold straight on the actually here for in the face.
The barrier off well Pacifist is a lockdown and they're going to come out of the first series with